Hello, everybody. Hope you are doing well. It is me, the Duke of Deception here. And yes, we are not started yet with this podcast, but we're about to in a second. Why am I here, though, you may ask? Because I want to give you a bit of a heads up. My audio quality in this specific preview is not ideal. So what had happened was there was an update to my drivers on my audio files, and it reset all of my default input devices for everything that records my voice, including the StreamYard that I was using to record this on. Now, my co-host did not recognize that my audio was off. I realized it was after the fact. So it is only for 2 total previews that this has happened to, and it'll be fine, is what I'm trying to say. Especially because I do think these are 2 very good episodes for you to check out. So I hope you can get through these. If not, I completely understand. Tomorrow's preview is going to be completely fine. Quality is going to be crisp. But just this one, there's a little bit of audio issues on my end, but also not the guest's end. So I'm really the only one that's going to sound a little poor, but it'll be fine. Anyway, just want to give you a heads up just so you knew that. Anyway, enjoy. Have a good one. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the We Know Traitors podcast over here on RHAP. I'm your host, the Duke of Deception, Pooya and Vakili. New day equals new cast member for Traitors US Season 4 for us to talk about. That's right, the preseason has begun, full steam ahead, and we're here to talk about a brand new person. Somebody who I am genuinely coming in with zero knowledge on, which means I'm very eager and excited to learn. And with us, we have somebody who I have had the pleasure of knowing for quite a while. First time I'm ever getting into the podcast with her, but someone who has made an appearance on RHAP before, talked K-pop Demon Hunters with Chappelle over on Nothing But Netflix. It's the one and only Alyssa here to talk to us and teach us everything we need to know about Eric Nam. Alyssa, how are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm very happy to teach you, as well as any of the audience listening, about Eric Nam. I am a person who listens to a lot of Korean music. And so when the cast dropped and I saw Eric's name on it, I thought, wait, what? Really? And then just it settles, oh my gosh, he's really on this cast. This is crazy. And so I'm very honored to be on this podcast. I like Eric a lot. And what I'm excited to talk about is I feel, when the Traitors cast dropped, a lot of what the knowledge was around him was like, oh, this is a K-pop singer, which is correct. He sings he sings a lot of Korean pop music, but there's more to him that I feel we'll go through in the episode that I'm excited to talk about.
Yeah, and this is kind of exactly why I'm happy we run this series now and we're making it a tradition annually, because I feel like last year there were quite a few people on that cast that I think I looked at, some other people looked at, it was very generalized of like, oh, they're blank. And I think more and more of these people who have come onto the show have proven to be more than just what that credit is, we have seen people who we have known as, oh, they dated blank person, end up making some plays and becoming a more exciting player. Pilot Pete was somebody who were like, oh, he's just a bachelor guy, and then he ends up being one of the bigger faithful characters we have. So yeah. When I see Eric on here, I think that's exactly what happened. I was like, all right, he's a musician, Korean musician, no one's gonna know him, and they moved on. I think we're about to get very surprised. Eric is somebody who, and now I don't know anything about him, but I have been told I have good vibe reads. And I've been looking at this cast photo quite a bit, not his specifically, but the whole cast. And the more I see it, the more I start building stories in my head of how things are going to go. I have a good feeling about Eric here. Eric is giving me somebody who I think could be very social, who I think could be very fun, and someone who is going to be friendly enough that people aren't going to want to get rid of him. At least that's the vibe I'm on. But that's without any information. So I'm very excited for us to parse through some information on this man here.
Yes, and let's get into it. And by the way, Eric has a great Traitors photo. This is such a good photo of him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is honestly, I think this is one of the top 5 in my opinion of all of the Traitors cast drops of just, man, there's a lot of charisma that just oozes out of this picture already.
We will ask what your other 4 are when we get to the cast photo.
Yes. So you know. Sounds good. Sounds good. But to your point about how how you perceive Eric as a social person. I think it's very astute that you called that out. So, just just a little bit of background info. So, Eric, although he is a K-pop star, he's from Atlanta. So he's
Hmm.
from the United States. In fact, he didn't even. So I think commonly with K-pop stars, you kind of become a Korean, like a Korean musician, like really early on in your age. Like you're
Hmm.
maybe 10 years old, and I'm there's a quote training process that some people go through. So Eric had a very non-traditional route. Eric pretty much lived in the like he lived his early 20s in the US, and he even had a job in finance. Like it wasn't until
Wait, Eric was a finance bro?
he was a finance bro. Like he graduated
Wow.
and worked at Deloitte, which I think is a bank or some sort, like something of that degree. And yeah, he was a finance bro for a bit. But the thing is, in the background, he had a YouTube channel where he was just kind of uploading covers and and things like that. And so he was a finance bro. He didn't do anything like training or entertainment related. And then one day he took a gap year from his job. And the first thing that he did was he actually flew to India to do to just do um like a charity work for India. So he completely went like a
Wow.
yeah. So he did that, and then after he he started posting to his YouTube channel his songs more, and it started to blow up, and it started to blow up that he got called to be on a Korean show called Star Audition, Birth of a
Hmm.
Star, and which is similar to like an American Idol or X Factor. So that was the first entertainment calling for Eric was being called for this Korean music show.
And that was done completely through just someone scouting his YouTube channel.
Exactly. Someone scouted his
Incredible.
YouTube channel. This I feel takes place in like the early 2010s, and he makes it to the top 5 of that show, Star Audition.
Amazing. Well, I want to bring up this right now.
Yes.
Alyssa has gone through the trouble of getting some receipts for all the lore she's about to drop on us today. So these are all going to be linked in the description right underneath this video. If you want to stop, go check it, come back, or if you wanted to reference something, it should be all available for you right under here if you're watching the YouTube video. If you're listening to this podcast, hello, come to the YouTube video to look at the description, or I should say we should have it in the description for the podcast as well. So either way, it's there for you.
Yes, it's a lot of clips are there. I think it's going to be fun because for a lot of people that don't know about Eric's music, just discover a new artist, and if you like him, then you can follow him. And there's more YouTube clips which we'll get to in this episode. So he gets really popular off of this show, Star Audition. Then he
Mhm.
gets signed to a Korean record label, and so when he signed to the Korean record label, that's where it really takes off in like 2012, 2013. And so one of the clips that I have is it's his very first song called Heaven's Door, and it is the sort of cheat, like kind of like very pop acoustic guitar, like with like I'm skipping through a field of flowers type song.
Mhm.
And it very very K-pop, like very much like you'd hear this on a K-drama. And but the thing is, he gets very popular to the point, and this is now where we're going to kind of like transition into his social career. Eric becomes huge that he gets called to hosting gigs as well as starts becoming a variety TV show star. So one of the things that really jumpstarts this is he gets called to host a show called the After School Club, and the After School Club is a show that focuses on K-pop. It's broadcasted in Korea, but the whole entire show is in English, and
Okay.
it's to help promote Korean culture and music to other places. And this is like like 2012, 2013. So it's like still like we're not even at BTS yet, but like this is really, really early on that Eric becomes the host of this show. And his career as a host starts to blossom. He gets gigs for variety shows, which for people that don't know Korean variety shows, like it's sort of like you take celebrities and you script a situation or skit that they're in, and then they just kind of have to like figure out what they're doing. And so this is good. So I feel like this is going to be interesting. So Eric was on a variety show called We Got Married, where the premise of the show is Eric gets paired with someone and they have to act out that they're married. And this is a popular show concept in Korea back then.
So real quick, is this like okay, for that episode they're married, or is this is basically a pilot and now this is a series and every episode they're playing out that they're married?
Yes. So it's on so the celebrity couples rotate. So
Okay.
yes. So Eric is paired up with a singer from a K-pop group called Mamamoo. Her name's Solar, and which is also a very popular group in Korea. And so they're in rotation, or I guess their season is starting. And so they're legit on 30 episodes or so of that show We Got Married.
Mm-hmm.
And so Eric starts to get a nickname called the nation's boyfriend because of that show. Like he comes off as charming, and some of the situations that they get put on, Eric really looks out for Solar. So for example, one of the episodes, they script Eric and Solar going to a clothing store, and the production makes it so that the person who works at the clothing store is acting really rude to Solar, and it's supposed to record the reaction of how the two of them react. And Eric really sticks up for her and just all of this stuff, and talks to the clothing store staff, and it's just like the production just puts them through all of these stupid situations just to get a response that they're looking out for each other. And even to the point that they'll even bait like the two of them hugging or holding hands or things like that.
Okay, so then he goes from his audition, his music, to then really starting to become more of a personality on television. Yes. As opposed to just his music speaking for itself.
Exactly.
Multifaceted. So that's good. So then what happens after this? Where do we go from here?
And to go off of that comment too, before we move forward, at this point, Eric is also on a label for his music. So even though he's very much his own artist, there are things that he's doing, just doing like lyrics and the songs that he's in may not necessarily fit his flavor, but he does eventually become an independent artist, which we'll get to eventually. After he finishes We Got Married, he gets put on a show called Law of the Jungle. And Law of the Jungle is another variety show where they take celebrities and they put them on a remote island for 1 to 2 weeks, and they just have to survive. And yes. And he's done everything. He's even gone the Survivor route for this. So he gets put on the season where he's sent to Mongolia with a few other people.
So there's a lot of improv, is what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
For an unpredictable thing like reality TV and specifically the Traitors Castle, if you are quick on your feet like that, I'm not mad at this.
Exactly. And it's one of the things where when I think about the casting and why we got Eric Nam, it makes complete sense why he's here and the skills that he can even provide for this. So after he's on Law of the Jungle, his whole hosting variety show career just blows up, and he's on a bunch of things. So Eric, being multilingual, and he knows both English and Korea, he also starts being called sort of for interviews with international people, and because he's fluent in both. So he starts. So for example, Spider-Man, when Spider-Man was doing their very first round of interviews, there's a very famous interview with Tom Holland and Jacob Alitan, where Eric is he is going back and forth English Korean, translating things for Tom and Jacob and all these things. And Tom, not realizing that he's bilingual or is from America, makes a comment, "Oh, your English is really good." And then that's when and then that's when Eric sort of trolls and he drops the, "Oh, it's because I'm from America." and so Eric. Oh, and then on that note too. What's fun about Eric's personality and his variety show, his entertainment side, is he is kind of a troll. So he's very sociable, but he can be. But I think he's very funny. He can be very sarcastic. He knows how to joke around and stay on a joke and to your point, improv. So I think there's a lot of elements that make him that will make him endearing for sure to a lot of the people in the Traitors house, as well as because of his hosting skills. Like, he can just keep up a conversation in general.
That short of him and Tom Holland has like 3 million views on YouTube. That is a very viral moment. Yeah, that I just did not clock before. So I will be checking that out after this.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that one of the number one things I always talk about and look at for a ideal candidate to be on the Traitors, is how well are they going to be able to do socially, and also specifically how well are they able to mesh with any personality. And the fact of the matter is, when you get to the Traitors Castle, there is an infinite amount of personality, very outwardly loud personalities. And I think being someone who has been on a variety show and also has been in the spot where you have to be the more quiet one or so much more the pilot and interview people, I think that's, again, multiple talents to have to navigate a situation like this. I'm about to accuse myself of cheating, because how do I know all this? Because that vibe check is, so far, I'm nailing it.
You're nailing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like right at the beginning. Yeah, you spotted it. And then on top of it, now let's build on what you just said. So you're talking about like being in the backseat, being the person that's the listener. So in 2019, starts his own podcast.
Which you sent me the links, right? So I checked these out, like the brief snippets, timestamps you put.
Yes.
The intro tune to his podcast is very earworm to me.
It slaps.
Really liked
agreed.
it. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm. It's very catchy. It's the right amount of length, and then it just gets in, and then Eric just gets into it right after. And I think when I'm pretty sure you haven't seen the whole podcast yet, but like if you like skim, if you just skim through it, like skim through 5 minutes of it, you'll really see how charming Eric is and how he's able to make the guest feel comfortable on his shows. So for people when you eventually click on it, so Eric has a podcast which it's the first name of it was called K-pop Daebak, because it focused solely on Korean music, but ever since has evolved now to just being called the Daebak Show. So because now he interviews like a whole bunch of other people, doesn't necessarily have to be musicians, doesn't necessarily have to be Korean. So this podcast has evolved since 2019. And this is his baby. Like, this is like one of the on top of music, this is one of the things that he does, is just interviewing people, getting to know them. He also had another short-lived podcast called I Think You're Dope. And I think and so this was a podcast that happened during K-pop, when it was named K-pop Daebak, and it was only about Korean music. So I Think You're Dope focused on just anything else outside of that. So for example, So for example, Eric, he like interviews people like Jenny Han, like the Summer I Turned Pretty, EXO Kitty, like the author for that. And he interviews all of these different people. And then once his podcast now just interviews anyone, he just kind of combined the two, and now it's called the Daybach Show.
The merge. Yeah, I do like the I think you're dope for a podcast name though. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I think it's it's a pretty dope name for sure. And also I think like it's funny because like just because I listen to Eric, like it's something that he would say too. Like it's like he's not saying it because he's trying to be cool. It's like I can hear the way that he says
He'll drop that. Yeah, he'll drop that
Exactly.
phrase. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which, we've talked at length at this point about how podcasting can be a great asset when we talked about Rob. So copy paste that for Eric as well.
Exactly.
Goes to say. Yeah, that's and I think where it benefits Eric maybe more than it benefits Rob, dare I say, is that Eric isn't to the people in the castle, no one's gonna be like, Eric interviewed these celebrities who are musicians, but also Rob, they're gonna look at him like, this man interviews survivors and Big Brother, strategic people. That's scary. That could be scary. Whereas no one's scared of Eric's interviews that we know of, unless someone's gonna be a huge fan of him coming into this and be like, let me tell you, the man is good. So he has that little bit of edge going for him there.
Exactly. I think that's what makes Eric fun so far. He's kind of a wild card to all of these people in the house. No one knows that he has this edge. No one knows what he's capable of yet. And I think that when I'm hoping that my boy lasts at least 5 episodes so that everyone that everyone can kind of see just how he evolves. And so now who he is now is he's a podcaster. He's still an MC. He's still an entertainer, host. He has an independent music career now. He just finished a tour. And now with his independent career, he's collaborated with a bunch of people like Gallant and Epic High and Kashmir. Just so many people that he's just expanded his network in all of these different categories, and also he's also dabbling in acting. He's going to be the voice of Aang in a new animated Last Airbender movie called The Legend of Aang, and he's trying to hit every single category, and it's crazy that no one knows that in this house.
Or if they do know, I think they're going to be a little shocked to see him, because I think that's the thing I will celebrate with the Traitors casting, is that they're not just going to the same 5 places.
True.
Yes, they're dipping into the Big Brother pool, the Survivor pool, the Housewives pool quite deeply, but then they will find people from other things to bring in. And I think casting like that is very smart, and I think it's also very fun because we get to learn more about people where literally, I haven't met Eric yet. But first of all, you've done a great job of hyping him up. But then the other part is, if I like even a little bit of what he's doing, I would have never known he existed had it not been for the show. So I do appreciate them doing that.
Yes, exactly. Just opening it up new doors. Just getting to know him more on this level, and to where he's mostly been famous in Korea up until this point. Yeah, this is honestly going to be a lot. And he's toured the United States. He's been around. He's in a lot of he's featured in a lot of things. But this is going to be the first television show, the U.S. television show, where Eric is featured prominently.
Yeah, because one thing that has come up now, and I'm very excited to talk about, because you broke this for me. I did not recognize this was a thing, but in his credits for his wiki, one of the things is he was an honorary ambassador featured on NBC primetime for the 2018 Winter Olympics. And when I tell y'all, Alyssa provided a video, and in that video, we have Eric Nam interacting with 2 people who are on this cast, in Johnny and Tara.
It was crazy finding this clip. I was looking all over Pooya to the point that when it only pointed me to the NBC website, which had archived everything at this point. And I was just like, man, I just need a screenshot. I just need something to prove that this exists. So it was crazy finding the YouTube video, and for people, eventually when you watch this, they're talking for maybe, or the interview's 4 minutes. It's pretty extensive. And they go into a lot of stuff.
Which, like, to me, they're gonna remember him. There's no way they're not gonna. If I swear to God, if Eric says it's nice to see you two again, and they're like, "Who are you?" I will perish. That better not be the. They better know him immediately, because like I was worried that Eric's not gonna have a landing spot. This is a landing spot right here.
Yes, this is completely a landing spot. I have heard. I don't know if it's I haven't fact checked before recording this. I have heard that Johnny is into K-pop. So I don't know if on top of just them meeting in person, that it's like he's kind of kept up and knows exactly who Eric, who Eric is now. I'm curious, when these three link up, I also hope that they remember, because they all in the YouTube video for everyone, they karaoke together too. They were in the recording studio. Eric showed them stuff in the recording studio. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in this interview that they do together.
Yeah, you don't forget people you karaoke with, to my
exactly. You
knowledge.
don't forget.
So, yeah, that's bonding right there.
It's bonding. Mm-hmm. And on that note, because of that, because I found that clip proof, I do think that if Eric is just trying to link up with people, that's obviously who I would gravitate towards. And I definitely think that Eric can talk to Tara and Johnny. So I had this theory. So okay. My theories are wrong half the time, but we're just gonna shoot it. I think that Eric is actually gonna bond the most with people that are the one-offs. And what I mean by that is like the people like Johnny and Tara, or like Steven, or Mara from the Love Island UK, because I think she's the only one from the UK version. Yes. And Kristen. There's something in me that's just like, I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna try to link up with these people first. But then personality wise, I honestly think he could get along with Rob Cesternino and Jam Jam easily. Just the way that just the way that he jokes around, the way that I do think he sometimes comes with troll tendencies in his podcasting. He can come off as a class clown. And although not everyone in the cast will appreciate that, I feel like Eric is going to reveal that to the appropriate people when the time is appropriate, just like for bonding's sake. Mm-hmm. And I definitely think, but Eric is, I think they're going to put him as a faithful at the beginning, and if he lasts long enough, I feel Eric has potential to be turned into a traitor. And yeah,
I could see. I also think he's going to be a faithful. After listening to everything here, I'm almost willing to make the grand prediction that he is going to be our most faithful of the faithful, meaning
yes,
he's going to be counted out as a suspect very early and could, as a result of that, get murdered overnight because he is not going to get kicked out of the round table. Because I also feel like he's clearly been around big personalities. He clearly seemed proven to have a personality of his own. But the one thing I don't see here, unless you now correct me, is he spicy? Is he going to throw down at a round table or no?
I think that he is going to throw down at a round table if he hears that his name is on the block. But he is he is not going to, so two situations. Unless his name is on the block and he just needs to clear it or pin it on someone else, or if he's so 100% I got the facts, this guy is definitely a traitor, let's try to get him out. I feel those are the two times that he would be spicy. But but to your point about being 100% faithful, if he's just kind of, I'm 50% on this, I don't think he's gonna push it yet until unless he knows for sure, because he doesn't want to screw anyone over that's not a faithful. But definitely down the line, especially when if Eric lasts long enough and we start and more people are eliminated, I think we're really going to start seeing spicy Eric, because he can get very spicy.
And I would be very intrigued to see that play out. Yeah, so I'm very excited then. I think we're going to have a good player on our hands. I love the
Agreed.
prediction you've mentioned that he's going to be linking up with some of the one-offs here. I don't think there's anything else that I want to add that I have to ask about him. Is there anyone else that you are excited to see outside of Eric while we have you here?
Yes, of course. I am a Survivor fan, so of course excited to see Rob and Jam Jam and Natalie. Although I will say, for Natalie, they advertise her as the Amazing Race, and I don't even think she's known for that anymore at this point. That she's known for the Amazing Race, but in terms of outside of Survivor, I am a big I do watch a lot of Housewives, and so I'm super big on Candace and Lisa. I am especially Lisa, and like she's crazy, and I I don't know if she's going to win for the record, but I trust that she's going to be entertaining, and that's all that matters to me. Candace, I feel is entertaining, and I feel like she can win it all if she's a faithful or a traitor. So I'm also excited for those two. A question because Johnny and Tara are on, and the Olympics are coming up, and so I'm sure there's going to be some NBC promotion going on, and that's why they're on it. But I am curious if Johnny and Tara are like split, meaning one of them's a traitor and one of them is not, because they're tied together so much in all of this Olympic promotion and ice skating, that I wonder if intentionally, just right off the bat, it's one of these two is a traitor.
So that's a good question, because we've seen this happen when they bring in people with pre-existing relationships before. In other franchises, we've seen them split the two and one be in the turret or conclave, the other be just a regular faithful. So yes. I definitely could see that happening. The running theory I have right now, and I'm going to say this on about every single preview, so when I'm wrong, it's going to be echoed through the halls. I'm going to get roasted. But I've been running with this theory that they're going to switch up their formula completely this season. Okay. And instead of going for like one from Big Brother, one from Survivor, I could see it being, and there's one I've locked in stone. I think Donna Kelsey's a traitor. I think Donna Kelsey's a traitor. I'm going to lock that one in. I think the other two directions we're going is a housewife, because the Housewives franchise got demolished last year. Yes. So they don't want that to happen. And then the third, I thought, to complete the synergistic effect of, Donna bringing in the Swifties, the football of it all, and I believe Peacock has Super Bowl this year. So that and the Winter Olympics, Johnny is in the turret with them. So I think Johnny, can see that. Donna, which I think would be so much fun, because I come into this show as a strategy reality TV strategy fan first, right? Like I know all of them. I don't know any of these other people. But I think that it's fun to switch the formula up. I think it'll be very exciting to see how that plays out with some new faces, new franchises trying their hand at the turret. Because let's face it, some of our faves have not done well in the turret. So I'm going to see how some other people fare in the turret. I also feel like someone like Phaedra has been a proof that putting in someone who may not be from a franchise that's conventionally known for this can, prove something different. So
100%.
I would love to see that happen. That would be very interesting to me. The only thing that might make me run that back a little bit is that I kind of hope there's at least maybe one of the CBS reality show folks in there to keep Rob safe. That's like the only thing I would want otherwise. But no, personally, I think there might be a switch up here. At least that's the hope, but we'll see.
Yes. And I think that's a good prediction. Donna, I feel can go either way, but I totally see her just being a traitor right off the bat, just to make things interesting. There's that synergy of just the Swifties in football that I get that we're trying to milk here. Johnny, for sure, I would choose as a traitor first, in terms of the Winter Olympics reporters. So I feel that has a lot of fun potential, and I think that'll be a good time. My other prediction is, I actually feel like they're going to choose 4 traitors first.
Like out the gate.
Out the gate, yeah.
Okay, that's possible.
Yes, and I think that I don't know why, but my gut says that Mara is a traitor. I don't know why.
Ooh.
We're just going off vibes, so like vibes only. But just a Love Island person gets chosen, which is uncommon, honestly.
We haven't had that yet.
We haven't had that yet. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what they go with. I feel this cast has a lot of variety and potential. Like we even have not Top Chef, Master Chef. But it's just there's just a lot going here that I'm very excited to watch. Also, oh my gosh, Ron Funches, I'm a big fan of him. And also Stephen Coletti, because I'm a huge One Tree Hill stan. So this is exciting for me.
I think they've put together a very fun cast, a very unpredictable cast, and I'm very curious to see how that all comes together. January 8th is when it's all going to begin with 3 episodes that night, then 2 more episodes the following week. Then we're back to our weekly episodic coverage there, or drops there. Coverage will be weekly regardless. Alyssa, thank you so much for coming on here and shedding some light onto Eric Nam. Do you have anything you would like to plug? You want people to come find you on socials if they really enjoyed this? Where can they find you?
Yes. So I have an Instagram that I don't use a lot, which is triangle__C, and that is the only social that I have. But otherwise, just happy to be here. Always been a fan of you, Pooya. So thank you so much for having me on the podcast.
Of course, it's my pleasure. This was an absolute fun time. Y'all can always find me on all socials at Pooyaism, twitch.tv/Pooya. That's where I am when I'm not podcasting. This season, I will be watching the episodes on Thursdays with you all, so make sure you come through and get excited as we watch Rob play this game, which I still can't believe is happening. And then as far as my podcasts go, you can always find the 90-Day Pod in your feeds ready to go with the Hot Mess Express. You can find me talking to Liana every week over on The Lounge. And also more Traitors content happening simultaneously this season, because Traitors UK will be starting a week before Traitors US. So if you're looking for those, make sure you're subscribed to the very feed you are listening to this on, or if you're on YouTube, go and find the feed to subscribe to as well. Just another reminder, there are links in the description. If you would like to check any of these out, please go ahead and do so. Thank you, everyone, for spending your time here with us today. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new player profile. But until then, y'all take care. Have a good one.
Bye.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.